Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and Audrey, my wife, and I went down to our local pen shop yesterday and got some stuff. We ended up getting quite a few things because there's always fun stuff and new stuff over at Crazy Allen's Emporium. They are in Chapel Hill, just off the highway, very easy to find, and a great store to step into. That used to be owned by a guy named Alan, who has since retired, but comes back every once in a while for like a little mini pen show sort of thing. They had a nib grinder, our local Deb Kenny in there, and a local artist, and they had all kinds of new stuff. So we went down and we went a little nuts. So let's take a look at what we found. Firstly, we found some watercolor paraphernalias for Audrey. She's really gotten into watercolor lately, has been doing all kinds of little paintings, and wanted to try out some of these in tubes. These are Van Gogh watercolors. They're in little tubes, and you squeeze them into a little pan to use them. But I had her go ahead and swatch these out because I was like, I don't know, I'm not confident in being able to swatch these and make them look anything good. So she did that. We'll take a look at those here soon. But she picked up these three. Do they have names on them? Oh, there we go. Permanent Blue Violet, Sap Green, and there it is, Cerulean Blue. Yeah, it looks pretty darn nice. Those are like cool colors. And then also this one, which is a fancier one and is a bit more expensive. I'll put the prices and names and stuff down here at the bottom and in the description if I can find them somewhere. But Crazy Allen's doesn't really sell online, so go and find these at other places. I have some affiliate links and that sort of thing down there to maybe help you out. This is by M. Graham, I believe. Yep, M. Graham and Co. This is a fancier one. Usually this little tube is like $20, so not an inexpensive watercolor. These are much less. I forget, like $4 or $5, something like that. But this is Burnt Umber, and yeah, it must be a pretty cool color. So also grabbed a Sakura Pigma Micron because these are really good for drawing things and all that sort of jazz while you're painting, because it doesn't move off the paper. Then a little pad of paper. This is a Fluid 100 cold press finish, 100% cotton, easy block. So it's got glue on both sides so that your paper doesn't buckle and that sort of thing. It is 140 pounds, which is a little bit, maybe a little bit lighter than some of the other stuff she's been using. But decided to try this out because it was $7.85, perfectly good price. And this is apparently from Speedball, which is also apparently not that far from us. It's in Statesville, North Carolina. We're a couple hours from there, but it's not that far, all things considered. That's kind of neat. And this is what those colors end up looking like on this paper, which she hadn't used before. She just like quickly made herself, got a little cat hair. Come here, a little cat hair. Ah, there we go. She quickly drew like a little flower and made a little background there. But there's the Cerulean, Sap Green, Blue Violet, Permanent, and Burnt Umber, which is a really nice looking brown. That's a good color. Made a little flower. Cute. A little cloud. Yeah, that's fun. We'll have to see how she likes this paper as she gets to using it more, but seems like it's pretty good, she says. Neat. So she just whipped that out a few minutes ago because I was like, I want to show people what that looks like, and I am not confident that I can show people what this ink or this paint looks like because I don't paint. All right, so a few little watercolor things, always fun. We've also got ink and that kind of stuff and other things here. So let's see what else we have in this package. My package, I mean like this bag I got. I got a couple of tapes because these seem like fun. It's like $3, and it was macaron colored tape. I've used this a little bit. I used some strips to tape down a photo I was putting in my journal. So very nice little colored washi tapes, but very simple colors. Feels like maybe you could write on these. I haven't tried yet, but they seem cool. I like these little pastels, so that was neat. And for like $3, hey, why not? And then I went ahead and grabbed this. This is the Little Red House stamp tape, stamp washi tape. They had brought in a whole bunch of different washi tapes. Michelle knows I like those, and so she shows them to me and to make sure I didn't miss them. And I really like washi tape that is made like stamps because it gives you a very convenient little place to tear it off or whatever if you want to, tape down the top of an envelope or whatever. I just like putting these in my journal sometimes too. So it's just a bunch of little birds. Now I don't put these on the front of envelopes. I try not to put them on the things I'm sending because it might confuse people. But look at this bird. He is so consternated. What is he? A vermilion flycatcher. He has not caught a fly today. He's upset about that. But blue jays and goldfinches and California quails and all kinds of fun stuff. This is $8, so not the cheapest of washi tapes, but it's a nice little washi tape. And I like those kind of designs. I like to grab these little stamp ones. I don't know why. I just like things that look like stamps, even if they're not stamps. Maybe especially if they're not stamps. I don't know. Continuing with paper product type things, I had to grab some more Col-o-dex cards because I was running out of these. I use these for all my ink swatching and all that sort of thing. You can see me do that over on Twitch. There's a link in the description below, but I'm usually there on Tuesdays and Thursdays from like noon to 2 Eastern time. Just like, talking about inks and pens or, swatching inks, doing all kinds of stuff like that. Hanging out with the community. Come and join us if you want to go on Twitch during the day. These are $15, which is, totally normal price for these, but these are kind of the gold standard. Nothing's better than these, I think, for swatching inks. And then grabbed one of these because I couldn't not. They brought in some of these Mofusand pads, and there are several of these. I've got a couple other ones that I really like, but it's just this little cat that does like weird stuff. And this one is this little cat dressed up as a shark, which I kind of couldn't pass up for $6.75. So this comes with several different little designs in here. We got this little lined one with all kinds of this one is like a cat who's dressed up like a shark holding a seal, I think. Just doing all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, then there's these. You can write on both sides of these. They're usually pretty friendly for pens and that sort of thing. I like them a lot. Look how cute that is. I mean, just like you're going to make a grocery list or, write a note to a friend, like why make it be boring? Put a Mofusand on there. So grabbed one of those. And then a couple of these because I really like the Midori sets they've been doing, these sort of like seasonal sets. I don't remember what seasons these are for. I don't think they're the current one, which is kind of wintry, and I liked them all right, but I kind of like these better. So this one I just sort of threw in the cart because it was $6, $6.60, and these are really beautiful notes. So if you want, I use these for all kinds of things. Like I said, I'll write like my grocery list on it, or if I'm popping a note into an order or something when somebody orders stuff from my shop, I'll just like sometimes write a little note on here. Or if I just want to write, just like, I don't know, the second page of a letter, or throw this in with a card, or whatever. But I think they're really beautiful and really nice paper to write on. And then I also grabbed this one because Audrey and I agree this was our favorite of the sets that we had out there. This is $8.80, which is, not the cheapest thing for, does it say how many pages there are? It's not terrible. It's like 18 pages or something. It probably says it in Japanese there. But these are Midori, and so good paper. And it comes with a few different designs here. Actually, maybe this is just two? I don't know. We'll see. So we have this one here. It's got this nice gold leaf or gold foil on there around the edges. It's not too ostentatious, but leaves you a lot of room to write. And then the other one is this one, same kind of flowers, but in a pink with that same foil around the edges. Are those the only two? Those are the two designs we have in this one? Yeah, those are the two designs, and they alternate. And then you also have in the back a page that is meant to go underneath to give you guidelines. Let me see. Is that two pieces? No, just the one. But it gives you guidelines, and it gives you like a grid so you can write across, each whatever direction you're going. Really very convenient. So yeah, I like this. I like this for sending letters and notes and things that are kind of special. It's really cool paper. Then I also grabbed the thing that is in this package right here. This is by Writech, and I have a bunch of Writech pens. They make these really good gel pens. These are Writech dual colors, and they'll have like two colors. Sometimes you get one that's two colors and one's black and one's like some other color. This one has like a dark green and a camel color, but they're both excellent. This one, these are actually, I really like these gel pens. Some of my favorite gel pens. You click them and it sucks the clip in, which is very nice. It's got this triangular sort of shape to it there. It's got a very nice kind of rounded triangle here at the grip that's like very pleasant to hold, and also has really great ink colors. So I really like their gel pens, and I've had some of their fountain pen, one of their fountain pens anyway, in my cart on Amazon for a long time. They sell in the US through Amazon mostly, but Crazy Allen's brought some in, and these are the Writech Clictec fountain pens, which is a retractable fountain pen. Looks like this, and it was $21.30 on there. Came with ink cartridges and all that. It comes in an erasable blue. Erasable blue is just a blue color that you can actually erase. They make ink eraser pens that you like kind of write over it with the ink eraser, and it'll blot out the blue, which is pretty neat. But yeah, I think this is a pretty cool pen. Mine was a little bit glitchy when I first got it, but not a big deal. We'll see how it goes over time. But this is a fine nib on this one. We have our knock up here. We have our clip here. So if you're somebody who doesn't like that the nib nib is pointing up on things like the vanishing point and such like that. This one, the nib points down in your pocket if you want. Has this door down here, which is like completely sealed off. Has a slightly triangular grip right here, but just slightly, just sort of to tell you where to put your fingers. It's very mild, that triangle. And then when you click this in, it pushes open this little door, which is fun. I'm not exactly sure how this works, if I'm honest. It's kind of an interesting mechanism, but the nib doesn't touch the door at all. Right there, and then the door just kind of stays out to the side, which is okay. The nib, if the nib was a little bit bigger, I think I would like that more. The nib is very, very small. And it writes nicely. I did have an issue when I first got it where the nib was coming up off of the feed a little bit, and so it would write, one letter and then completely wouldn't write at all. I'm like, what's going on here? It's definitely got ink to the nib, but it just wouldn't write. And so I started looking at it, and there was a little bit of wiggle there. And so I I actually sent an email to Writech, and I was like, hey, I've got this pen. It doesn't really work right. Can we get a replacement? And then I decided to start messing with it. And I don't know if I've fixed it completely, but I did just sort of like I stabilized the feed here and I just bent the nib, like put pressure on the nib to move it a little bit toward the feed, and it seems like it's been going better now. Let's see if it's writing. RTE. So it's getting plenty of ink to the nib, which I think writes pretty nicely. But every once in a while, it just like stops. I think the ink is I think what's happened is you maybe see it there a little bit. The nib has come off the feed just a little bit. I don't think this is like a problem that is super common. The one they had in the store was writing really well. I think maybe I just got a slightly defective one. Like, it's not moving much, but just a little bit. And so when I press it, you can see it there. Like, yeah, actually, here we go. Come on, focus where I want you to. Wow, there we go. Huh. Now it's not doing it. I don't know. This is like, it's kind of inconsistent. Which there it went. Now let's see if I can show it. I felt it when I poked it before. Yeah, you see how it moved just a little bit? It's just a little bit off the feed. And I'm not sure what's going on with that, and I can't get to it, which is a little annoying. The inside of this pen is very simple. There's nothing weird going on in here. You just have a cartridge, which they say is proprietary, and they say only use these, but I don't know. That might be a standard international. I haven't checked it out. Well, I don't know. You got standard international right here. Let's see. It looks bigger to me. Yeah, I think it's bigger than a standard international. But the good news is it actually came with an empty cartridge in it, and you could totally refill this. This is a very stiff and like strong cartridge mouth, so I think you could refill this with whatever you want. But you just press it on there, but there's nothing, you can't take apart the front of this. So it's a little bit frustrating that mine is wonky. And I hope that that's not like endemic to the pen itself, because otherwise this pen works really well. Just that nib keeps coming off the feed a little bit, and it doesn't want to write when it does that. Now you fix it by just like, I just turn it over and I can feel it pop back into place when I do this. Yeah, I don't think I've fixed it completely. I feel like it is fixable maybe, but I don't know how to do it. So I don't know. I'll keep messing with this a little bit, but I think this has some promise. Maybe I just got a defective one, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if Writech gets back to me. I don't really want to take it back to our local store because, I don't know what they would do with it. They could replace it, but maybe like it would be at their cost. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, let me know if you've tried one of these, because I think it's pretty cool as long as the nib stays on the feed and it keeps writing. That's the only problem with it so far. So yeah, Writech, Clictec. I don't know. Jury's still out, but I like it so far. It feels like a nice pen especially for $20. All right, the other thing I got was a couple of these. These are Itoya refills. These are medium point Auqarollers, which is looks like it's a gel ink, which is cool. It's like a needlepoint gel, and they fit Parker style refills or Parker style pens. And I have a lot of pens that use Parker styles, and at $2.50, I wanted to give this a shot because Itoya usually makes pretty good stuff. They're the distributors for Sailor here in the U.S. This is Itoya of America, yeah. So same distributors, and these are usually pretty good pens. Let's see if I can open this up. There we go. I like to put different refills in, say, like my Retro 51s and that sort of thing, because I don't love the rollerball refill these come with, but you can replace them with Parker style. So let's see how this works. Take off the little ball there at the tip. That's important to do. And when you put these back together, you want to take the skinny end of the spring and put it on first. That's just the way it goes. All right, there we go. Pop that in there. Now, hopefully we'll have a nice blue. There's our needle point. All right, let's see how it goes. Give it a few scribbles to get it started. All right, right off the bat, I don't love it. I don't know if this will get better as I use it. Sometimes they do. A lot of times these kind of refills need a little bit to get going, but I am not a huge fan immediately. It's kind of blobby in some places. It's doing some railroading. It's kind of pale. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just do it on a hard surface. Maybe that'll help us out. Sometimes you get railroading on a gel pen. It's because it wants a harder surface. Yeah, this isn't really better. Yeah, I don't know about this one, y'all. Let's try out. Do I want to uncap the other one? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna start doing my my second takes videos again. We'll see. We'll see if this gets better. Cause man, I would like to have a nice gel, refill for these things, but this ain't it. So far, the Oto Flash Dry is the best gel refill. But I think it only comes in black, which is disappointing to me. I don't really like writing in black most of the time, so. I don't know. We'll see. This one, though, so far, not great. So I don't know. Jury's still out on this one, too, but it's not amazing. All right, and the other thing I got, I'm not going to have time to test out here because I think it's going to need more thorough testing. Before we get to inks, though, this is the last pen-related thing, I guess. And this is the ColorVerse Shuttle Nib. I didn't get the nib holder for this. I just got the nib itself. Come out. Can I get you to come out, please? There we go. There we go. This is the new ColorVerse Shuttle Nib. And I went ahead and got the aluminum one. They also make one in brass, but I decided to go for the aluminum because I don't have any of these in aluminum yet. I've got them in steel and brass and, well, I guess steel and brass are the ones that I have for these sort of metal nibs. But it does have like a little hole here, which like should, in theory, hold some ink and that sort of thing. I don't know. Could be interesting. I've heard people say they like it better than they like the Kakamori ones, and so I guess we'll see how that goes. But it should fit all the same nib holders as the Kakamori and like that. So this is the Kakamori steel nib. You can see, you can definitely tell the difference. Like, while they're both metal nibs and they both have the little slits there, it looks like the ColorVerse one has a steeper angle at the front. And it is like, I mean, it's a different color because aluminum, and it definitely weighs a lot less than the steel one does. Let's like pop that on there. Yeah, yeah. All right, it feels extremely pointy. Ugh, which is something I didn't care for with this one. Like, this is also extremely pointy at the tip. I don't know. We'll see how it goes when I put some ink on there. Folks have said that they feel like these are, oh god, that feels awful. I don't know. Maybe we'll try it out here with some of this ink I just got and see how it goes. But man, it doesn't feel great on this paper so far with no ink on it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. These are not the cheapest things ever either. They're like $40 or something like that. So we'll give it a shot. Now for inks, I did get a bunch of inks. All right. Firstly, I got this one, which is Sailor Manyo Sakura, which I had on my list for quite a while and haven't seen in store. And so I decided to grab one of these. I also got from the 160-year anniversary Diamines, I went ahead and got the Wax Seal ink because a friend of mine was like, you need to try these out, and the one you need to try is Wax Seal. So these look like pretty standard ink colors and that sort of thing, so I was like, I don't know which one to get, but the Wax Seal one was the most attractive, so I grabbed that as well. I also got this one from Kuretake. This is Meiji no Iro Era Issue, which should be like sort of a red. Oh, here we go. It's a bright vermilion color. It looks slightly washed, or a light vermilion color, which is kind of interesting. So we'll try that out. I've got I don't know, another 3, I guess, of these that I've gotten and have used a little bit, and they seem nice. So I decided to try another one of those. And then, because I've never tried them out before, I grabbed a couple of inks from Push Pull, which is a store that makes ink and like watercolor stuff. I want to say they're in the Pacific Northwest, maybe even Portland. Does it say? Ah, there we go. Ballard, Washington. Made by artists in Ballard, Washington. So I got 2. I got Sword Fern, which looked like a nice green in the swatches that I saw. And then I also got this one because, of course, I did. It's called Wet Branch, and it's got a little bit of shimmer in there, and it's kind of a I don't know, it's kind of a weird brown color, and I was like, yeah, let's give that a shot. They come in these nice little vials, and they're $6. Although they said the next batch is going to be a little more expensive because they have raised prices. It'll be like $7. But this seems like a perfectly good price for what is this, like 30 mils or something? 20 20 mils. So $6, 20 mils for each of these. Should be fun to write with, so we'll give those a try. So let's do a little swatching and maybe try out this little ColorVerse nib. I haven't washed it or anything though, so I don't know if it's going to give us the best performance, but let's kind of see how it works. Okay, got my swatching stuff here. Just do like a few little quick swatches, and I'll do a little writing. I'll probably speed it up for y'all, so you don't have to watch me, do this the whole time. But let's get going. Okay, there we go. So this is these are those 5 inks here swatched. I was feeling kind of red today, yesterday, I guess. So in writing with them with this, it is pretty scratchy. Like when you write with a fine tip there, it is fairly scratchy. And when you find the right kind of angle, it can make some very nice sort of much like broader feeling, broader looking lines, and it does feel better. So I think this might just take a little bit of getting used to, but it is very pointy. So yeah, it's got that going. It did hold a fair amount of ink, and it did feel nice doing these kind of little squiggles and that sort of thing. And maybe this little ink hollow here helps, but yeah, it seems good. And it is really easy to get the water out of the grooves after I rinsed it. I just sort of like touched it to my microfiber, and that pretty much took all the water out of the grooves, which is very nice. I have had a little bit of an issue with that sometimes with the Kuretake one. Maybe the grooves are deeper or something, but it was a little bit more difficult to get the water out. But this one seemed very easy to clean, so that was cool. For the colors, I think Sakura is an absolutely beautiful color. It's got all kinds of like peaches and oranges and such going on in there. Just a very interesting color, and I think it'll definitely be dark enough to write with, which is what I was hoping. Wax Seal, really nice, rich red. It looks great. It's got some like black edge sheen or something, but also look at the bottle on this sucker. This thing is so much bigger than I was expecting it to be. This is 75 mils. 75 mils for $16. This one, on the other hand, is much smaller. Does it even say how big this is? This is 20.7 fluid. This is like probably 20 mils, something like that. And this one was $18. So yeah, you're getting a lot more ink from Diamine for sure. But man, this bottle is massive, especially for a Diamine. It's huge. So that's a really nice looking red. This Kuretake ink, which is smaller, is a nice red as well. It's a brighter red, but also looks gorgeous. Wet Branch seems very cool. I'm digging this kind of weird taupe color. It does have a little bit of shimmer, but just through my flashlight. It does have a little bit of shimmer, but not a huge amount. You can sort of see, it sparkling there a little bit, but that's mostly just the color. Sword Fern, though, I'm a little worried about. This thing, I mean, look what it did here. Like, is this just gonna feather and bleed through everything? That's the feeling I get for it. I don't know about that. Look at it, I was trying to bleed through this paper. That's honestly wild. I don't know if I've seen another ink bleed through. This is Color Ring. This is a Color Ring oversize. I don't know if I've ever actually seen another ink try to bleed through this paper before. I don't know about Sword Fern. I mean, look at this. Like, even this is a giant swatch of, it's probably Barat. Oh no, that's 3 inks. I just layered on there, and only a little tiny bit came through. But man, that one, I don't know about Sword Fern, y'all. That one's maybe take a pass on that one. I'm gonna do some more. I'll put it in a pen pretty quickly to see how it works, but yikes, that's not great. So I don't know, we'll see. But interesting stuff. I'm also a little annoyed about the form of these bottles, honestly. They don't fit. If they're a little skinnier, they would fit maybe in here in my Inkapet, and then I'd be able to like stabilize them. But as they are, they're pretty big and also very tall, and that's kind of scary. I feel like I'm going to knock one of these over. And also pretty thin. I don't know, man. I don't know about these push-pulls. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to write them off yet, but I don't know. I'm dubious about this one. So we'll see how it goes. A little bit of a mixed bag here today. These Auqarollers don't seem great. This pen seems like it's got some promise, but also is a little bit wonky with that nib thing that's got going on. The inks mostly are bangers, except for perhaps sword fern. The watercolors look great. The paper is nice. So like we kind of like ran the gamut on this stuff here. So thanks for hanging out and watching me, mess with all this stuff that I just picked up. So also get yourself some washi that looks like stamps. It's real fun. All right, that's it. Until next time, think about what you put out in the world, make it a better place, and I'll see you in another video soon. That's it. Peace out, y'all.